Okay, good. Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Ernest, and I'm the one going to take you through this first session. So, as earlier mentioned, I'm with IT Audit, and I support data analytics work for continuous control audit, and also support some audit engagement in areas of cybersecurity and systems audit. Apart from being in MTN, I also work as a lead trainer at Elotech IT Consult for data analytics, and I train students and professionals in Excel, Power BI, and SQL. So at Elotech, we equip students and professionals in data analytics, as you mentioned. So Excel, SQL, and Power BI. We also offer AI and Microsoft Office productivity tools. So from all the AI tools you need to be productive at work and in your personal business, to Word, PowerPoint, forms, among others. And also, if you are new to, let's say, computer, you are now trying to find your feet too, we also offer general computer knowledge also to people. So currently we have 3 flexible options. We have one-on-one sessions where if you want us to train you in anything that you are interested, so we sit with you, we understand what you do and the problem you want to solve. So our one-on-one sessions, you realize that someone has a project that you want to do at work. So you bring to us, we make it a use case. And by the time we finish taking you through, you'll be able to build something that you can apply it at where you work. We also offer cohort, or we call it group trainings. And in these trainings, we meet twice a week for each of them that you do for 5 weeks. And aside the live classes, we also provide pre-recordings so that if you want to learn on your own, or maybe you miss the class, you will still not be disadvantaged. Then the last thing also for corporate trainings, and we do training for companies, clubs, and also associations. So basically, these are the options that we offer. So when you look on my screen, you could see a flyer. So this is our upcoming cohort, and this is reduced to clear. It's very affordable. For each of the courses that you pick is for 100 cedis. And if you need one-on-one sessions too, this is also available. So this course registration is still ongoing and it closes on 10th of April, 2026. So we can begin the training on 12th of April. So if you are interested in advancing your IT skills in any of AI and office productivity tools and data analytics, you can also consider enrolling to this. If you need more details and insight, our numbers are on the screen and you can also call us so that we also have further conversation. I think that's enough talking about our business. Now let's get back into Power BI, or what we tabled for today. And I will want to start this presentation with a question. Why do we have oil, but we still import oil as a country? Maybe I may be wrong. I think maybe we do not have all the required expertise and the refinery to be able to make sure that our crude oil has been processed into the finished goods. And that is why we still import oil as a country. So bringing it back home, you can have all the data you need, you need in the world. And if you don't have the right skill set and the tools to be able to make sure you are able to take decisions from this data, then there is no point having that data as well. So I say Power BI is the refinery that turn your raw data into real business case. And at the end of this presentation, my goal is to help you understand what Power BI is, share some tips that will help you build dashboards that drives decision. And to be able to do that, we are going to look at 4 key things. What is Power BI? What problem has it come to solve? What are the various use cases that we can talk about that right from this training, you can start thinking about implementing in your workplace? And I'll share some pro tips with you, how you can also build effective report. And these are the housekeeping rules for this engagement. I'm going to present for 40 minutes as I've started. And after that, I will allow you to ask all your questions. Okay, so if you have any question, please note it down so that when we are done, we can have a very fruitful conversation. So now Power BI is a tool from Microsoft that help us to turn our raw data, whether it be in Excel file, our CSV file, a setting in one particular database or wherever the data is being kept. We are able to turn this data into clean dashboards and insight so that decision can be taken. And if you want to know more about this, you can visit Microsoft and you are able to read more on that. And I'm sure I'm going to make this concept very clear to you as we proceed. So people ask, why Power BI? Because anytime we talk about data analytics, looking at what Microsoft offers, what comes in mind is Excel. So why are we talking about Power BI? So the first thing is Excel struggles with large data. So Excel was designed not to really handle large volumes of data, which is 1 million rows and above. Okay, so looking at today's world where some daily transactions can be more than 5 million and other things, Excel cannot process all these data. So Power BI does well by making sure that it handles millions of data, certain in databases and other resources. The second reason is you realize that when you are building dashboard in Excel, it is time consuming because one formula that you write, you cannot reuse it across other places. So anytime you want to do any small change, you need to go and update the formula. Then also, anytime new data enters, you need to go and manually refresh it before the dashboard will be updated. And this could be a daunting task, right? Thirdly, you realize that when you're talking about sharing, unlike Power BI, where you can build your dashboard in Power BI desktop, host it on the cloud, grant permissions as you want to other people. Excel, you cannot be able to do that. And even when it comes to live connections, Power BI can connect to SQL, can connect to all databases around, but you cannot connect your database to Excel and analyze the data. So these are some of the weaknesses that Excel have, and this is what Power BI is also solving. And last but not least, you realize that when you are building charts in Excel, your pivot tables and the rest, you are not able to get quality visuals. So Power BI has been created to provide us with more options to be able to build very interactive dashboard. And this is why, though Excel is still powerful, when you have large data analytics, we mostly prefer Power BI than Excel because Power BI purposely was created for building dashboards, automated dashboard, among others. So now, I mentioned on the component of Power BI that we build the dashboard in Power BI desktop. And when we are done building it in Power BI desktop, we share the dashboard to what we call Power BI service, which is the cloud-based. And all the other people you want them to manage will be able to set and manage. And if you do the configuration well, you can even use a dashboard on your mobile phones and they really work perfectly. So now, before I start taking you through why you joined this training, I just want to share with you a few use cases. Then when we are done, we'll pick one of them and I will show you my tips on how dashboards and other things are being built. So now, let's talk about engagement trackers. Okay, engagement trackers. So, in almost every organization's management, you have meetings. So they have ESCOMs, other call it MANCOMs. Some are debrief meetings, weekly meetings that they meet. And what happens is, in some organizations, Department A will come and just talk about what they are doing, and Department B will also come and talk about what they are also doing. But in modern organizations, we build a dashboard. So the dashboard is there. So any work that you do, you put it in a dashboard. So when you're having that management or team bond meeting, you realize that when you get to IT department, IT project, they are part of the dashboard, and they will walk us through what they have done, percentage of work that has been completed, and what needs to be done. So these are some of the use cases that are being there. And today we're going to walk through how to build this first use case within 20 minutes maximum. The second one is issue and remediation dashboard. And this one is for those in governance, risk, and compliance. So the GRC there. Can you please mute yourself, Kelvin? Kelvin, can you mute the person?
Yeah, NS, you can proceed.
Okay, please, can you hear me now?
Yes, please, we can.
Good. I think you muted me. Sure. Good. So I talked about the issue and remediation dashboard. So you realize that audit perform engagement issues are given to IT to remediate, and they must track the issues to see how IT is remediating these issues. We are able to tell how many of these engagement issues that we raised has been remediated or has been fixed, and how many of them are still pending. So these are some dashboards that we can build to also make sure that we don't forget key important informations. Now, the next thing is incident report dashboard. So let me go back to IT. IT reports so many incidents. So let's see whether it is physical security incidents that are being reported. In most cases, they keep them in Excel. But you see, when you are dealing with high profile people, let's say the executives, the managers, and the other levels, executive committees are not interested in tables, right? They just want to see the high level overview of things and how things are being done. So it is always important that you make sure you build dashboard that they are able to sit and take decision based on that. So these are some of the things that we can do by making sure all issues that we receive are visually represented so that everybody can see them clearly. Now we have occupational health and safety dashboards, which is similar to the incident report dashboard, finance dashboards as well. So financial reporting, settlement and reconciliation, they are able to know how many of us are we owing, how many of us have we settled them. So based on what we have and how much is deducted, can we reconcile? So they are able to look at all these things. And the last use case I also want to talk about is leave and attrition dashboard. So you can have a dashboard to be able to manage. So you have various use cases and metrics about people that joins and leaves your organization, and you're able to see, okay, maybe is it because you are not paying them well? Is it because of age? Is it because of distance? Is it because of work-life balance? So you're able to see what are the areas that is really causing people to leave, and you're able to measure the let's say the eternal rate at which people stay in your company and others. So that is very few ones that I picked to just talk about in this meeting. And in the next session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through the process. We are going to pick an Excel data. Then we are going to put this data back into Power Query. I teach you how you do data cleaning. I bring it back to Power BI visuals. Then we are able to build a dashboard. So that's what we're going to do within the next time. But before we will do that, I'm going to show you what you are going to build. I'm going to demo it. Then after that, I'm going to share with you some tips that we are able to build it. So bear with me. Let me quickly show you a few things so that we can make progress. Okay, give me a moment. I think it's, yes, it's almost in, so that we do it. Okay, so I think my Excel sheet is up. Let me just show you the Excel sheet. And then when the dashboard is up, I will also take you through that one as well. So I am bringing up my screen back, then I'll show you the Excel that we're going to work with it. Okay. Okay, so this is the Excel sheet you're going to work with. So today, this is what we're going to do. When you look at this Excel sheet, so this Excel sheet contains engagement. So let's say there's a company that sought out at the beginning of the year to perform 60 engagement. And out of this 60 engagement has the various status. Some engagement in the course of the year were cancelled. Some in the course of the year. Okay, so now we can see it here. So look at them. Some were cancelled, some too, they were able to close it. So those, the close are the completed engagement. Some were follow-up engagement and some are also new. So the various criteria are here. So we've saved them. We're able to see their priority level. Some of them need high priority, so we need to give them more attention. And the department that are supposed to work on all of them too, the quarter in which these engagements are supposed to be performed, and the individual who are supposed to also lead the engagement are here. So you can see we have like 10 individuals responsible for 60 engagements. So these are the Excel sheets. This is the Excel sheet that we have.
We can't see the Excel sheet you are talking to.
We can see from here.
Oh, then I think maybe it's
Please,
your
the one
network.
who cannot see, kindly refresh and then join again. I'm sure you
Okay,
will see it.
I've not seen it, please. I've not seen it.
Yeah, refresh
right.
your machine. Log in and log out and come in again, and I'm sure you'll get it.
Okay, I'm okay. Thank you. All right,
You're
thank you.
welcome. And
Good. I think the person can see now. Sure. So these are the engagement, the Excel sheet, right? And this is the Excel sheet you are going to turn it into this dashboard that I'm going to show you. So this is the dashboard that you're going to build. So the Excel sheet I just showed you, this is the end result using Power BI as a machine to make us see what we can do with it. So the 60 engagement are here. High priority engagement, we see they are 19. Now we are able to see the quarterly distribution of this engagement. So we say that, okay, engagement for quarter one is this, quarter two is this, and the rest, right? Now we can sort this engagement to see that, okay, how many of this engagement is supposed to be performed by audit? Then you're able to see that, okay, out of the 60 engagement, audits are supposed to handle 18 for us. Finance are able to do 12. Marketing is doing 10. And you can also do them by planned quarter. So we say that, okay, Q1, we are expected to do this. And you can see who is performing the engagement. So you can see, okay, so how many engagements are assigned to Akosia? And you see 9 are supposed to be done by Akosia and the rest. So out of the 60 engagement, you're able to see this is our completion rate. So we've been able to do 29% of the engagement we sought out to do, right? And now I wanted to show you a slide, but I think I missed that. So let me go through this. Then if we get time, I will show you that one. So for executives and high profile, they are interested in this high level information. So they can see that, okay, where are we? Are we achieving the goal? So if executive says, okay, let's see K1 alone. K1, what is the completion? So they're able to see the completion per the quarters. Now, when you are dealing with, let's say, managers and lower level, managers and lower levels may want to see details about this. So maybe you didn't see what I did. So now we are seeing 27% of the engagement are new. So if your boss says, okay, can I see this engagement you are seeing they are new? If you click on it and go to details, you see the 27% refers to 16 engagement, and you're able to see all the engagement that are new, as you can see the status here. Now, out of the new engagement, you can still filter them by their quarter and other information. And when you want to go back, you can use this arrow and it can take you back as well. So you're able to see them according to who performed the engagement, department responsible, and the status of the engagement, and a whole lot of things you can also do. So I don't want to take more time trying to take you through this. But what I want to do is, if we are supposed to build this dashboard from scratch, how do we do it? I know you may have so many strategies, so many techniques to build it. So today I'm going to share with you few tips that will help you to be able to build this dashboard within a short time. So within the next 15 minutes, I'm going to build this with you. I'm going to talk through as we build it. So what I need you to do is, you cannot practice as I build because of time, but you can note all your comments and we will share the video with you so that when you have it later, you can also have access to it. So please grab your note and your pen, and if you have any question when we are done, I will give you the chance to do that. So I'm going to stop my screen. Then I go to another page that I open so that we can start this. Good. So I'm opening another page. So once that page is seen, we can make progress. Okay, so as it comes up, give me a minute to mention this so that when we are building the dashboard, things will become more clearer to you. Good. So let me share with you. This is the one that I missed. So see this one. There is a framework that allows us to, there is a framework that we need to know when we are building a dashboard. And you see, the purpose of the dashboard is to tell a story. And the goal is to avoid noise in the data. So you don't put so many information on one dashboard. Okay. So here, before you are building the dashboard, you must ask yourself these few questions. Who are the end users of this dashboard? Are they going to be used by managers, analysts, or executives, as I mentioned? So see the various information. So executives, they don't really have time for the tables and the other things. So they are interested in this high level data, right? When you are dealing with managers, they may want to see some summary information about whatever you are talking about. But the analysts will want to see the tables to know the granular details of whatever we are doing. So just note that who am I building this dashboard for? And now understand that every dashboard we build is solving a business goal. So you ask yourself, what are we building this dashboard for? So maybe this one you are going to build, we are going to measure status of engagement. So the goal is to measure status of engagement. But within that, embedded so many KPI, so many informations you need to put on that particular dashboard. So you ask yourself, which of this information is very important? Then once you know the information important, then you ask yourself, how do you communicate it? So when we share this, you also have all this information. Now, if you are comparing, okay, so we are comparing quarter by quarter, then these are the graphs that you must use. If you are finding composition of something, so let's say out of the engagement status, what is the percentage of this? What is the percentage of that? These are the graphs that we are supposed to use. Then distribution and other relationships, so this is what we are supposed to use. So I think now my new page is up. So I'm going to show you this. So I'm going to open a new Power BI. Good. So this is what I'm going to open. So I'm going to open a blank report. Then the Excel sheet that you and I worked on it, we are going to bring this particular Excel sheet quickly. So now let's go here. Let's click on import data. So when I click on import data, this import data will show us all the sheets that we have. So I'm going to bring this particular one. I call it SOE data set, status of engagement data set. And this is going to bring the Excel sheet that I open for you. I'll show you quickly when you go into Power Query. Now, when you import the data, Power BI picks this data and we take this particular data into Power Query. And this is when you click on transform. So load means that we don't have any cleaning to do. Transform means that now I want to go and clean the data before I'll be able to come and build a dashboard. So this is how you are able to do it, following the roadmap that I showed you. So this is how the Power Query editor looks like. So if there is any cleaning you want to do, you want to change a column, anything you want to do, this is how we do it. But today, we don't have enough time to go through Power Query to teach you how we clean data and make the data really good. But let me just show you one thing. Assuming we have a start date here, and this start date, we want to get a month from it because we will need it. I just come here and I say name of month, and you'll see that another column will be added to the ending part of this, and you see I get the month for each of the data. So this is the only update that I'm going to do. I click on Home tab, and this is how we save in Power Query. The close and apply is simply saying save the data that I'm working with. So when the data is saved, it will be loaded to this data section here, so that you see all the columns that we have in this particular data. So the data is coming, and now I didn't change the name, so I think it's fine. Give me a second as the data loads into this. Good. So now when the data loads into this, you have your data. And now the next thing is, how do we quickly build this particular dashboard? So here, the sheet name is this. Good. So everything comes back here. I think I didn't change the name, so I'll go back to Power Query and the transform, and I'm going to change the name from sheet 1 to dataset. So the name is dataset. So now when I finish and I reflect, I come and close and save it here. So now the name sheet 1 is going to be changed to the data sheet. Yes. Good. So now let's quickly go into the dashboard. The first thing to do, if you look at, let me try to put this on a different window so that we are able to view all of them at the same time. Good. So you are able to view the final and the good. So you are able to view these two concurrently. The first thing is to set the background, and I go to the wallpaper and I say that here I'm going to change the color from white to, let's say this one, black. So this is the background color we are going to do. Now I'm teaching you a simple concept that you are able to use to build any dashboard. So the first thing is to make sure you set the background. Then you pick a card, just one visual. It could be any card at all. So it should be any visual at all. When you pick any visual, there are two things. The first thing is to put a field here, that is put a value. So I'm going to create a formula, and I'm going to name the formula. I'm going to name this particular formula total engagement. So I see the total engagement. And now I'm going to use a formula called count rows. And this count rows is a function that counts all the rows in our data set. Once you get it, just click on the green. This green is going to make sure you save whatever we will do here. Okay. So you don't necessarily need to close this particular one. The green will do all those ones for you. Now, when that is done, this is the card that you and I just brought. Let's put this particular thing in the card. Once we check the information, so it's going to put this 60 on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to format this particular card, one. Then I'm going to copy and paste it and use it to form this particular structure before we will even start and edit it. And you see that the session will not take much time. So I go to where we format. So you see, format your visual is where we format the card. And the visual section talks about everything inside this card. So this value 60 and the number below, the text below. And the general is anything outside this particular one. So what we're going to do, if you look at this, is that we're going to change the height and the width. So I'm going to give the height 163. Then I'm going to give the width 280. So this is the width I'm going to give to this. Now I'm going to turn on the title, and I'm saying that this is total engagement. We will work on it surely. And we're going to change the color to yellow. Let's pick any shade of yellow. We can make it bold. You can say that we are increasing it to, let's say, 20. And I think the bold is making it to some way. Then we can center it. And yes, maybe this is okay. Now, the next thing I want to do after the title is just to go to the effect and turn off the background so that this just sits here. I think that's okay. Then I want to give it some border. So I want to give a border around it. So I say I'm going to give this border a color of white, and I'm going to give it, let's say, a round of 5 so that it will not be a rectangle. At least you'll have some bit of rounded corners. Then I give this to. So now this is how it look like. This is how the card look like. Now the only thing I want to come back and do here again is to turn off this label and this call out value. The value inside here, I want to give the color of white and also increase this font size a bit. So it's a simple technique that we apply, and this is all that. This is the difficult part of the work. Once you are able to format one, the rest is, if you look at this, we have how many cards? We have 4, right? So just come back here and copy and paste them. You can click paste at the top after you copy. Then you can also paste it again here. So now I have how many cards? I have 4 cards. So when I get these 4 cards, instead of me wasting time to align them, I can just select all of them. So select all of them. Then when I select all of them, when I go to the format, I have a guy called align, and I say distribute horizontally, and I can also align them to the top so that all of them will move up and be straight. It will just be straightened according to what we have at the top. So this is the first one that we do, and this is the most difficult part of it. You see, we have some slices at the top. It's very easy to build these slices. All you need to do is now just copy one, paste it, and now the slices, I'm going to give it, if I come to the properties, I'm just going to give the slicer here. I'm going to give it 67 as the height. Then I'm going to give the width 200. Good here. Okay. Now, this is still a cut. It's not a slicer, but it's the same thing we are going to use. But don't worry about that much. Just remove the value here. And we see that this slices, what are we going to put in the slicer? So let's say we're going to put department in the slicer. We'll just put department here. And now we change it from a card. Now, one key thing to notice, anytime you pick a particular visual, you have these rounded borders around it. So as I click on this filter, it will automatically change. It will automatically change this particular one to a slicer here for me. So now this is not the one, this is a drop down. So I can turn off this so that you are able to see. But because it's black, you cannot see anything here. So don't worry, the general, we are done with it. That's why I asked you to copy and paste. So you don't need to go waste your time on the general. Just come to here and you see there's a slicer label. Now let's see the value first. Let's change the value to, let's say, this color. And now that has been done. Let's change the settings to a drop down so that now if I click on this, you see that it comes as drop down. So once you are able to do one, there is another black thing somewhere. Slicer, good. Let's change this one to yellow so you see it. And now I'm going to just copy this, put it at the top. Then I do copy and paste. And now I put them around here. I paste it again, then I bring it in front. Yes, I bring it here. So gradually we are making progress, right? So the only thing that you need to do is we change the department in the first one to, let's say, this one becomes, let's say, a quarter. So I remove the department and I put the planned quarter here, which is a column for the quarters. So now you see the quarters. Now, when we come here, we just remove the department and put who performed the engagement. So we say performed by, and you're able to see all the people that performed the engagement. So the golden rule is just build one particular card. When you finish, copy the card and paste it across. So now let's come back to this part, the chart, this ones. Just step to your card that you used. Now, the only thing you're going to do is change their dimension. Okay, so here, I'm going to change this height to 222. Then I'm going to change the width to 412. So now if I do this, you see that the same card that has been formatted. But now the only thing I'm going to do is, there's not a card that I'm looking at. So I remove the value, it's not a card. I'm going to put what we call a donut chart. The one it look like pie chart, but the ones that has holes are called donut chart. And this donut chart, I'm going to put engagement status. And oh, I think I've selected beyond. Let me see this. Oh, yeah, I picked the wrong thing. So I'm going to put engagement status. Okay, yeah, it's just right here. Engagement status, and I'm going to put the total. So now, do you see that? Let me reduce this a bit. You see them here, right? As I told you, we are done with the general, so no need to go there again. All you need to do, there are legends. We don't need these legends, right? There are details. Okay, so these are the details. Now, if you take them off, you will not see anything here. But now, there are detailed information here. And here, I think maybe let me give you the color. So let me change the color so that it makes it very easy for you to see whatever we are doing. So if I turn on the legend, you see the legends here as you can see them, right? But now let's change this particular color. Which one? Okay. Let's change the values. Let's change the color to, this is white. Oh, why is white, but now it's not showing? Okay, so okay, good. So let's go back again. I think it should be able to help me now. So I have the legend. I have some test information about it. Let me change this to white. Good. So now I have this legend, but maybe this legend, we may even take it up. So this visual here, we have the values, and the values are still white. Someone talking to me? Okay, so we don't need this legend. What we need is the values, okay? So we need just the labels. Okay, so these are the labels that are on, and I need a value and category and percentage of total. Think I have issue with this dashboard. Yes, because the values are showing, but it still look as if there's nothing there. Okay, that's fine. Maybe because this is on. Good. Give me a second. Okay, so maybe let me put this one here. I think some value is very big. Let me see this once. Yes, it is 40. This is the cause of the problem. Good. Exactly. Because I changed the other one. Oh yes, yes. So this is what we wanted to do. So maybe we can still reduce it and say that okay, let's put it on 11. So now we are able to see that okay, these are the engagement that we sought out to do. So the total engagement is still there, but we'll take it from there. So now that you are done with one, let me verify the dimension. If I've not changed it, it is supposed to be 412. Good. Now, after this is done, just copy and paste. So we copy, then we paste one, then we paste it again. So this become another one. Okay, so it look as if this is too big. So then we can, because they are of the same card, you can select all of them. And now I can force their way to say that, okay, give me 400 instead of 403. Good. And now you see that it reduced them up to some level as we are interested. So basically, this is it. So it's very easy. All that you need to do again is the second one is not and is priority level, and the other one is department. So when I go to this one I have selected, the title will not be in total engagement. This is priority level. So I have my priority levels here. Good. Then I do this one and name it as department. I go select the first one and I name it engagement status. And at least this one is okay. So the only thing you and I need to change is here, the priority level. We just have to go and kick that engagement status out and put priority level, and that fix it. We come back to this, you kick the engagement status and you put the department. So now you see that the department, HR, and the other ones are also showing, as you can see here. Now, the last thing to conclude this is just copy one of these cards again. We're not building any new concept. We are just using one particular one so that we say that we pick this particular card, we expand this particular card. This is what we're going to use for the table below here. Okay, so it look as if my other visuals, where they are, they need to go up a bit so that my table can have another space. So I select these ones and move them a bit up so that at least my table can have some space. So I'm moving this a bit up, then I'm aligning them to this particular section, right? Now, the next thing is to adjust this table. So I adjust the table and make it to this side. So now, you know, this is not what we are dealing with. It's not a pie chart. So you kick it and you put a table inside. And for table, we just put in any value. So let's start with engagement ID, engagement name. Let's say the engagement status, who performed the engagement, the quarter it was performed, the priority level, anything you want to put in here. Okay, you can put the start and the end date. And anytime you put a start, you have to change it to start date. Then you put the end dates. Then I don't want all the other sessions, so I just come and change it to end date. So now you see I have some information here. So as we've already done, nothing to be done on the general because we are done. It is inside these particular ones that we see that the column headers, we want to give this column header the background rather to be black as it was, then the text rather to be yellow. Okay, so that they will look like what we have inside here. And if you want this to be bold, then you can say this thing should be bold, right? Good. It should be bold, yes, at this end. So now this is that on that. Now when you come to the values, so these are the column headers. When you come to the values are the rows. The values, if you look at the values here, the backgrounds are black and the text are white with some italics. So I just make it italics. Then I make sure that all the backgrounds are black. So I change all the background, sorry, all the main and the alternate background, I change all of them to black. Then I make sure that the text color is rather white. The text color is rather white so that now you're able to see all that we have here. And now when I minimize this particular one, then you now see that at least it looks a bit clean. It looks like what we have. The only difference is that you could see that the black is very deep. So here at about you saying that, okay, the value instead of the black, then you can now go and choose the one that we used. So you don't pick the full black, you put the black that has this background. And you can also do the same thing for this guy. Where is the header? The column headers. You can do the same thing for the column header. Pick this one. And basically, this is all that we have. We don't need a title, so we turn off the title. And this is how this look like. So you could see that it was a simple thing we started with. We built just one card. We formatted it. And after formatting the cards, we are able to do that. The only thing I want to insert is a text box that says status of engagement. So let's say status of engagement. So now I built this. I increase the font size to the one that will make it fit here. So let's say I'm going to give it 28 is fine. I'm going to make it a bit bold. Then I'm going to push it to this side. Then I'm going to move it on top of here. The only thing I can do is just to go format it and take off this background color. And now say that this text color come and become yellow. So now if I go here, you see that the status of engagement, whatever color we have here, is down there. So it looks a bit similar than this. These are images that we inserted. Now the only sheet, the other sheets are very easy. And I'm just going to take 1 minute to show you how you can also build this particular sheet very easy. So the tip is build just one particular card. When one particular card is built, the other thing you have to do is just to make sure that you duplicate. Okay, so we can go online and say that we need, let me use this and say we need a filter icon, right? Now, if you pick this filter icon, so let me add yellow to it so that I get the yellow icon that we use. So, okay, assuming you are going to use this one, we save it. We save this as image. So let's say yellow filter, wherever I find itself. Now it has a background. So I'm going to use an online site called Remove BJ. This is how we remove background from an image. So I upload my image. And now when this image is being uploaded, it will remove the background, this white background there, so that now when I insert it, I will not have any background. So I click on the preview and then I insert it. So when we go to our dashboard, on the insert, I just go to where we insert the image. Okay, where we insert the image. And now I have to go to style, image, and upload the image. So I'm going to browse this image. And this image comes up there. And now we say that no, we want it to be a bit smaller. Then we align them, we do whatever we want to do to them. We can make them smaller or bigger. Then we can put them here. So in the future, we may attach actions to it so that when you click on it, the page filters and other things. So basically, this is it. Now to bring this to a close, I'm going to duplicate the slide, as you can see. Now I don't need all these cards. We don't need all these cards. So I'm going to delete what we don't need. Okay. So as you can see, I don't need this. And I don't need this one too. If you compare it to this one, it is just a table and a card. So we also don't need, okay, we will need it, we will position it. So what you have to do is just position this one to one side and move the table up a bit to the top here so that it look like what you have. Now, the next thing is just to come and copy any of the cards. Copy any of the cards that we built. Let's copy just one of these cards. Go to our duplicate page. Paste it somewhere. Then let's align it. So then we see that we don't want a very big card here. So then we make sure this card is aligning to the one we are doing. Then we come and pick one department. Is this a department? It's a plan quarter. So let's put the plan quarter. Let's copy this plan quarter. Let's even bring it because we don't need it at the other side. So when I put this plan quarter, what I didn't show you is this. You see, when I came here, I told you that the slicer settings, initially it was on a vertical list, and this is what vertical list means. It comes in this form. There is another one that we call tiles that I'll show you quickly. So let me just show you the vertical list, and this is the vertical list that you have here. So if I need this to be a tiles, so let me show you what a tile means. I'm sure you've seen it in your dashboards, but you don't know what they are. Come back to this settings and change it to a tile. Now, this is how it becomes. So then you can expand this, and now you can even move it to the top of your dashboard. So there is a filter. There is a filter, all right, just that it acts in this format. So all these ones depend on what you want to do. So if I click on Q3, you see that the whole dashboard is adjusted. So this works the same as we clicking Q3 on here. So depending on what you want, then you can change it to that particular one. So essentially we are done. The only thing is to just come and change the name, as I think when it comes to just editing names, you can do it, right? So I pick this particular one, put it here. Then all these ones, we don't need these ones. So after you are done with everything in the dashboard, the other job becomes copy and paste, okay? So you just have to come and copy one dashboard. And once you are done copying one particular one, you just have to make sure that the other ones are easy to do. Now, all the other ones are copy and paste. All these ones are copy and paste. You see, they are all copy and paste, and they are all copy and paste. So we just copy one, and once you are done copying, you just have to go and paste them. So if there are so many information, you can just go and remove some of them so that you'll be able to expand your sheet. So now all these allows you to expand. You can be able to do all these things, expand, just so that your dashboard will look a bit neat. So this is how we are able to build this project. So I want to bring it to a close here and see if there is any question on this one. Maybe you can quickly take it so that the next one will come on. So bringing everything to a close, we set a background, we build one color, one card, then we duplicated it to have all the other information. So thank you so much. At this point, I want Kelvin to come in. If there's any question, you can moderate this for me, then we can proceed to the next presentation. Thank you once
Okay.
again.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ernest, for this insightful presentation. I've seen that you have been able to simplify building a Power BI dashboard. I see some hands up. So we'll just take one question. We have a question and answer session after this. So we'll just take one question because of time. So I saw Sam's hand up first. So Sam, I think you can unmute and ask your question. Then we move on. Then we take the other questions
Oh, okay.
after the session. All right.
Oh, okay. I don't know whether I'm Sam. I don't know whether the other presentations will be related to audits, because my question is related to the trying to build a dashboard for, let's say, conducting an HR audit and all that. That's my question, not related to this very one. So thank you.
Okay,
Okay, so
Ernest.
I think since there are only two hands, if you can take the second one, then maybe we can close the deal on this.
Okay. Frank, I think you can unmute and
Hello,
speak.
sir. So I have two questions. The first one is, how did you get the pie chart? Then the second question is, how do you publish after you are done? Do you copy and paste in your Word or Excel as picture in a picture format, or how is it done? Thank you.
Thank you so much. The first question, how do you do the chart? I think it was, I did it here. So I just take this out. So this is how we do the chart. I just created the card, but you remember the card, right? You remember the card?
Yes.
So
I
this is
think I
the
missed
card.
that part.
Yeah, so all that I did is just to take the value from the card so the purpose of sticking to the card is we don't want to all the time go and do the format background for all of them. So we do just once, then we do the duplicate. So now look at the visualization fit. Do you see that there's borders around just the card? 1, 2, 3. This tells you this is a card. If you need a donut chart, this is it. just go and click on that. It will override this particular one. So then it turns to a chart and you can put whatever you want to put, whether department and this in here. So this is all that we did. Is that okay? I just turn on the label, then I reduce the values, and basically that is all that we did.
Okay, I see that. Thank you.
Good. Now, how do we publish it? This is simple. On the home tab, there is a publish button at the top here. Do you see this publish? The first thing is you must be signing into your Microsoft account. And once you sign into Microsoft, if you click on publish, now you see that it will ask you to save it. Then they will ask you, do you want to publish to your personal workspace or you want to create another workspace? Once you click on publish and you go to Power BI in the browser, you will be able to see all the published files. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Good.
So
If
can
you
you
have more questions
demonstrate
can I
can you
demonstrate
demonstrate
what?
the publishing?
I think I've exhausted my time. So maybe if you have
Yes.
more questions, you
Okay.
can pick my number, then you ask later. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So I
Okay.
think yeah. Please, I'm done.
Okay.
My number is here. If someone wants to pick it, they can pick it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ernest. Thank you so much for this insightful presentation. We are going to move on to our next speaker for this evening, and he's in the person of Wilfred Nneadiku. So Wilfred is a chartered accountant and the advisory partner at Makers and Partners with expertise in auditing, forensic investigations, IT audit, ESG, and data analytics. So he has led major engagements across public and private sectors, including some forensic advisory work for MTN Ghana and the World Bank. He is an active member of multiple professional bodies and he serves on boards and ethics committees. So Wilfred is a mentor for young professionals and he's a professional at what he does. So the question for you, Mr. Adiko, is Wilfred, a lot of professionals wonder if learning another tool is worth the time investment. But in your experience, how does Power BI specifically change the game for a business's efficiency and a a professional's career trajectory? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Kevin. And I'm going to show my screen on what I'm going to talk on. I hope the listeners can see my screen. So this is speaking specifically to a professional. And you find yourself working for an organization. So you can be an accountant, you can be an administrator, or someone who works with numbers in sales and marketing, or even the call center. Now, as a professional, Power BI comes handy as a tool that can help you make very efficient and effective decisions. And I'm going to show you how you can use it. And this is after you have learned how to use Power BI. After you have learned how to use Power BI, the next thing is how you are going to use it to make efficient decision as a business person. So there are 5 key things that I'm going to touch on. The first one is that it must be at the back of your mind as a professional that your application of Power BI is to make decisions, not just having the fancy dashboard. That's very important. And then the next thing is that whatever model you are building for your Power BI, it must focus on business relevant KPIs. Business relevant KPIs. And then the data which is fed into Power BI must closely integrate to business processes. And number 4 is very important. The number 4 talks about building a data culture in the environment where you are. So it requires that others, not just you who is exposed and knows how to use Power BI, but others are trained. Because when they are trained, whatever data that you are picking from others within the environment will be good quality data, so that when you are putting it through your Power BI analysis, the data is quality and you can make very efficient decisions. And then the last thing is continuous improvement. Now, why do I say that you must start with decisions? If you are going to make very efficient decisions, right, and you are going to use Power BI, your interest should not just be the dashboards. When you look at the dashboards, because obviously what will come out are the dashboards, just as shown to us by Ernest. But when you look at the dashboard, when you read the dashboard, it should make you take a decision. It should cause an action. It should throw some insight to you that will make you take a certain line of decision. And in business, we do decisions at various levels. There are the strategic ones, and then there are the operational ones. And if you look at the dashboard that was presented by Ernest, he showed what will be required at the higher level, the ESCOM level, the board level. Your dashboard should be such that when a board member looks at it, it comes with an action, right? So that must be the key thing for us as professionals using Power BI. It must be used for decisions. And when anyone looks at the dashboard, whether they are at the strategic level or the daily operational level, they look at the presentation, they look at the dashboard and they make decisions, or they are forced to take an action because it's throwing something, it's pointing them to something that is either positive or negative. And if it is positive, then the business will capitalize on it to do well. If it is negative, then the business will take intervention to address the issue. So that's the first thing as professionals when we want to make efficient use of dashboards. The other thing I will also say is that, as I was pointing you to the fact that it should be decision-based, for it to be relevant, the data that you are collecting, which you are applying the Power BI principles to transform into dashboards, must directly align to the business KPIs. So, for example, my friend was asking how will it be relevant for someone who is an auditor, who is doing an audit on a client. So let me give you a practical example. Today, I'm doing an audit on a client, and the focus of the audit is on IT vendor audits. We are auditing IT vendors. Now, one of the things that the client agreed with me was he wanted the work to be done within a certain number of time. 2 weeks field work, 1 week reporting. And I have close to about 5 resources available to me. My auditable areas are a total of 12. And when I go through all my auditable areas, I'm going to come out with findings, with observations. So I have put out a dashboard. My interest, one of my key KPI is to finish within the time frame that I've been given, and also the findings that are coming out, prioritizing the findings, the ones which are critical, the ones which are high, the ones which are medium and low, right? So I built a dashboard like that, which on a weekly basis, I can meet the sponsor and then tell him that the auditable areas of 14 that I have, I've been able to complete 20% or 25% in the first week. I can drill down further and point to him that As part of my audit process, the planning process, I've done 85%. I've not entered into execution. When I compute everything from planning, execution, and reporting, it cumulates into overall completion rate of 25%. So what I'm trying to say here is that to make the output of your Power BI application to data meaningful, align the data collection or the data that you are going to analyze to the relevant business KPIs. Then the next one is also integrate it into business processes. As a professional, if I'm to advise business on day-to-day operations, and I'm going to use my Power BI to express the insight that is coming, I must link my data to business process. So let's say call center or customer relations management tool. We want to know how efficient our call center is closing calls, which calls are being closed within the timeline, which calls are delaying, which calls are failing, and all those things. So this is business process. And I'm collecting data from that and then, analyzing it and being able to make very informed decisions. Which of the call center agents are falling below KPI expectations? I will design my Power BI such a way that I can be able to pinpoint to a particular agent who is not meeting target, or to be able to see a particular agent that is exceptional and deserves appreciation. That is one of the things that, as professionals, when we are building our dashboards, we must align it to business process so that we can get insight that when we advise business, it is science and not just something that is out of the blue. And I mentioned that data culture is very important. Everybody else within the environment must be trained on data, how to collect data, how to record data, how to process data. This will guarantee data quality. Whatever you take and you use in your analysis or transformation using Power BI, you would have quality data that will lead into quality decisions. So not just you with the knowledge and the skills. Maybe you are the only person who's been trained on Power BI, and therefore you are the likable staff because you do wonders. You show nice dashboards, but let others also be trained and exposed so that we can all work together to give value to the business. And then the last one I will talk about is continuous improvement. Business environment is dynamic. Data sources, where data is coming, changes to economic environment causes your data also to change, or the focus or what our priority to also change. Not just that, but what you have built today, right? I tell you, it can be done better. The way you have presented, like the various cards that we saw NS moving and using them to analyze the data. Today, we may use a donut, but there may be another which can even really bring out the insight. So continuous improvement is very, very important. If you do it today and it works, you ask yourself, how can I do it better tomorrow? Which will make it much more efficient and much more powerful. So continuous improvement is one of the things I will advise professionals who are using this for work. Always look for the opportunity to do it better, so that, and take feedback when you are done and others review and they see that, oh, this is not coming out well, your color here is not too good. Please take the feedback in a very honest way, improve and do it well. So to bring my side to an end, what I want to say is that, yes, we use the Power BI to get our dashboards and our reports. But what is important is the insights. And even far important is the actions. If you have dashboards that are nice, they are just decorations if they do not influence decisions that we take. On that note, thank you very much. Over to you, Kevin.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Adiko. for that insightful session on how Power BI can be a game changer for professionals and businesses. If you have any questions, you can type them in the box or keep them in mind for the Q&A session. But we would now like to hear from our next speaker, Marius Raffalo. So Marius Raffalo, he leads data analysis, reporting, and AI-driven solutions at Sorigo, bringing over 20 years of experience designing big data and AI systems while managing multidisciplinary technical teams. He combines strong business insight with advanced analytical expertise in predictive analytics, statistical modeling, and scalable data architecture. His work spans machine learning, cloud and big data technologies, and impactful projects such as churn prediction, customer segmentation, fraud detection, and AI ML platform implementation. So, Mario, businesses are drowning in data from their daily operations, yet many still struggle to make sense of it. How can a business or an enterprise build that gap bridge that gap, and start extracting actionable insights from their day-to-day operations? Thank you. Okay, Marius.
So good evening, everyone. My name is Mariusz Rafał, and as you mentioned, I'm a head of data at Sorigo, the company located in Warsaw, in Poland. Thank you, Kevin, for the invitation for this event, and thank you for the very interesting question. Let me just share the screen. I will just share a single slide just to focus our discussion. So this is only the single screen showing the process of data analysis, and going back to your question, what we can observe, and we are observing in our customers, many organizations today have access to data, which is obvious. They collect data and analyze data relatively easily and very cheap in comparison for the time from 5 or 10 years ago. However, what we can notice is that many companies do this inefficiently and fail to build and deliver business value from this data. So to do it correctly, you can use various methods, frameworks, or some processes, as you can see on this single slide. And they are generally simple in theory because there are like 5 or 6 steps, but what we can observe that they pose significant challenges in detail. And I will not cover the whole process because we don't have that much time, but I would like to stress or discuss some key details associated with collecting the data, transforming the data, or using the data in business processes, in making decisions. This topic was also covered by the previous presenter. So this is very important one. So starting with identifying the data or collecting the data, when we know what data we need to gather, the key is to collect the right data in the right way. Not all data is useful, and not all data is obviously needed for our processes. Many companies collect everything they can. They put data into data lakes, into data warehouses, some cloud repositories, but they don't ask why they need this data from the business perspective. And if we don't know what decisions we want to improve, then just we are collecting the data in an improper way. And the other aspect, very important aspect connected with collecting the data, is the issue of data quality. We may collect the right data in the right way, but still data may be useless because of the incompleteness of this data, missing values, or the data sometimes is corrupted. The second issue I'd like to mention is the step connected with turning the data into information, so the processing the data or analyzing the data. As I mentioned, raw data is often incompleted. It can be messy. It may contain some error or duplicate, but also, which is maybe more important, because we can use some technologies to clean the data, but the more important aspect is that the data, the raw data collected from multiple systems, is not integrated. If we have a larger company, for example, they have like sales data, some invoices, financial data, orders data, call center, CRM, etc. We can observe that often these organizations are facing data silos when they are able to analyze only the data within the specific domain, for example, financial data or the CRM data. But the real value comes from the integration, combining the data from multiple sources. For example, combining CRM data with financial KPIs, order history, call center interactions. Then we can build a customer profile, for example, and have a real knowledge or real insight from this data. And this is also the place where the tools like data warehouses or Power BI come into play. We can use, for example, data warehouse to help organizations to clean data, combine or integrate data from different sources, or to build machine learning models. And then we can also use, for example, Power BI reporting to define KPIs, dashboard, or reports. And then the next step, in my opinion, the most important step, is the step when the organization is making the decisions. So this is the point when we are integrating our data with the business processes. So this is where most companies fail. They build databases, they build dashboards, they build reports, sometimes they build data lakes, but nothing seems to change from the perspective of business processes. So the idea would be that the insights from the data should be integrated into business processes. For example, it can be achieved by decentralizing of reporting. In many companies, we can observe that reports are built by the central reporting team. So if we have business users that request a certain report or a certain dashboard, they often need to wait, for example, like days or even weeks. By the time the report is ready, the moment to act is often already gone. So that's why the self-service tools like Power BI in analytics are very important. And these tools like Power BI or other reporting tools allow business users, not just analysts or IT guys, but just business users, they are able to explore the data on their own, reducing the information time to market. And as a final thought of this short speech, I would like to mention the importance of measuring the results of the business results of the usage of data. As you can see, we should measure this at all stages of data analysis process. And for example, a real world example from one of our customers in Poland. Our customer is a large telecommunication company located in Poland. And several years ago, we built a churn prediction models for them and they use these models to predict which customers are about to leave, are about to churn. So we use the usage data, customer profiles, customer behavior data in order to make the predictions. So we built machine learning models, dashboard, reports, etc. And they showed high-risk customers, probabilities, scores, customer segments, and nice visualizations. So they started to use it on daily basis and to target customers with retention offers. However, they never measured what we call the control group. So they didn't compare customers selected by machine learning and analytical models versus some randomly chosen customers. So in fact, they didn't actually know whether the churn reduction, the business value, was actually reduced, meaning the churn was reduced and the business value was obviously increased by using the machine learning and data, or maybe there were other external factors. For example, the offering was very good, the prices were low, and the customers would have stayed anyway. So in my opinion, the key is to measure the business value at each step of the data and information value chain. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Marius. Thank you so much. From your session, we see that many companies are taking a lot of data that they don't really use for anything. But if you are able to point out the data that is relevant, then you can be able to build dashboards that will be able to help businesses make informed decisions. So thank you so much for that. Now we can take some questions. If you have any question, you can type it in the chat box or you can lift your hand and I will call you. Okay, I see a hand up. Okay, Ransford, think you can unmute and speak.
Thank you, Kevin, for this opportunity, and thanks to Marius for this insightful presentation. I would like to know, how do small and mid-sized businesses without large data compete with enterprises that have large data departments or have dedicated analytics functions?
Well, it is hard to make a comparison between large enterprises and small ones. However, I think from my observations and my business projects we performed, smaller companies tend to be more agile in terms of adoption of new technologies. They are mostly using tools connected with self-service. I mentioned this in my presentation. So even the business users, they often do not have a large IT department. So the time to market is very, very short in the smaller companies. And this is, of course, the advantage they have, because in larger companies they obviously have more data, they have modern technologies, interesting architectures, IT department, etc. But again, they often face like data silos or the poor time to market. We need to wait long time in order, for example, to implement new data source or to build new dashboard. So I think the short answer would be the agility, the time to market. Thank you.
Yes, Daniel. Daniel, you can unmute and ask your questions. Okay, I don't know if Daniel is still with us, but if there are any more questions, our speakers are ready to take the questions. So kindly lift your hand and then we can answer your questions. Thank you. Okay, it seems that the presentations were so good enough that people don't have many questions. So, um, thank you for participating in today's webinar. We will really appreciate your feedback to help us improve in future sessions. So kindly check the chat box. You see a post-webinar questionnaire. Kindly take a few minutes to complete the evaluation questionnaire shared in the chat. Your responses are very important to us. So thank you. Now, we are also pleased to announce an upcoming paid ESG training taking place from the 20th to the 22nd of May 2026 on the theme Transitioning from ESG Awareness to Credible Execution and Impact. So, this training is designed to help participants move beyond ESG awareness to practical implementation and measurable impact. So the training is open to all interested individuals and organizations, and we encourage everyone looking to strengthen their ESG knowledge and application to participate. So further details will be shared in the chat box and also shared via your emails. Yes, I see a question. Ransford, will there be a certificate of attendance provided after the session? Yes. So when you fill the questionnaire, you give us details that we will use to give you a certificate. So if you are interested in getting a certificate, kindly fill out the questionnaire and fill out the details that you want to see on your certificate. Thank you very much for that question, Ransford. Okay, so I believe we have come to the end of the webinar. So on behalf of the organizers, makers, and partners, in collaboration with Elotech IT Consult and Sorigo, we sincerely thank you all for your time, participation, and engagement throughout this session. We hope you found the discussion insightful and valuable, and we look forward to having you join us again in our future programs. Thank you once again, and have a wonderful evening.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yes, you want to say something? Please go ahead.
Yes, so just wanted to say that we have upcoming training also for mind in data analytics with Excel, Power BI, and AI Microsoft Office, as I shared the flyer. So anyone who is interested can also take advantage of them and also join as well. Thank you.
Ernest, you can drop the link for the registration to the webinar in the chat box, please, in the chat.
All right, I'll do that right.
Potential for growth. Results of our work are a product of knowledge and competencies, but above all, the shared passions and relationships we cultivate every day. We build global business technological partnerships, offering our services and products to clients worldwide. Are you looking for a trusted partner? Let's talk.
Welcome to Elotech IT Consult, where we help students and professionals gain essential skills for today's digital world. Whether you are just starting out or looking to advance your career, our training is designed for you. We specialize in data analytics tools such as Microsoft Excel, Power BI, structured query language or SQL, and the latest artificial intelligence tools. You can also master Office productivity tools like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Forms, Teams, Outlook, and Power Automate, all in one place. With Elotech IT Consult, learning is convenient. All our classes are online, so you can join from the comfort of your home. Evening and weekend sessions are available, making it easy to fit learning into your busy schedule. Choose between live online classes or pre-recorded sessions to suit your needs. Our courses are practical and hands-on, tailored to your work and preferences. We offer one-on-one training, group sessions, and organizational programs, ensuring you get the attention and experience you need to succeed. Ready to upgrade your skills? Contact us at 054-771-6175 or visit elotechitconsult.com for more information. We look forward to supporting your learning journey.
Welcome to Sorigo.
At Sorigo, since 2016, we have been dedicated to designing and implementing modern digital systems, empowering our clients to significantly increase efficiency and truly build a competitive advantage.
Our specialization lies in microservice architecture platforms, cloud data warehouses, AI-powered analytical systems, and the DevOps domain, with containerization and automation playing a pivotal role.
In our projects, we use the latest IT technologies, but at the same time, we work very closely with our clients on the business side during project implementation. It is crucial for us that our projects bring forth concrete, measurable economic benefits.
We collaborate with industry leaders in sectors ranging from telecommunications and finance to energy and the public sector. Our goal is to build long-term relationships based on trust, strong partnership, and mutual development. At Sorigo, we believe a company's true strength is in its people. When building our team, we focus on shared values, experience, and potential for growth. The results of our work are a product of knowledge and competencies, but above all, the shared passions and relationships we cultivate every day. We build global business technological partnerships, offering our services and products to clients worldwide. Are you looking for a trusted partner? Let's talk.
Welcome to Elotech IT Consult, where we help students and professionals gain essential skills for today's digital world. Whether you are just starting out or looking to advance your career, our training is designed for you. We specialize in data analytics tools such as Microsoft Excel, Power BI, structured query language or SQL, and the latest artificial intelligence tools. You can also master office productivity tools like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Forms, Teams, Outlook, and Power Automate, all in one place. With Elotech IT Consult, learning is convenient. All our classes are online, so you can join from the comfort of your home. Evening and weekend sessions are available, making it easy to fit learning into your busy schedule. Choose between live online classes or pre-recorded sessions to suit your needs. Our courses are practical and hands-on,